What is going on, my peeps? Man, Versatile is back with another video. Back here to talk about some Marvel's Avengers news. But before we do, we gotta acknowledge that fresh haircut. That fresh with the fade. Oh, alright. Marvel's Avengers. Spider-Man. Not Spider-Man 2099. Iron Man. All in Marvel's Avengers, right? 2022, what are we looking forward to in terms of Marvel's Avengers? Well, we know that some characters have been leaked, right? Shout out to Miller. She-Hulk has all been but confirmed, as I've seen like 2 or 3 articles basically say that exact same thing. All but been confirmed. The actress in question, or alleged to be voice acting She-Hulk, put a green heart up when Miller tweeted it on Twitter. Some of you guys may have seen that. I will throw it up here if I can find that. And Miller has also said that we actually may be getting somebody before She-Hulk. And that's pretty interesting because I thought She-Hulk may be right around the corner here soon. Yes, we have not gotten an official roadmap for Marvel's Avengers for 2022 yet. But along with guessing who that character is, we're going to talk about some of the things that we hope to get with Marvel's Avengers in 2022, because I think this is going to be the true make it or break it year for Marvel's Avengers. So before we get into all those goodies, if you guys haven't already, make sure you guys ignite that like button, subscribe to the channel, hit that notification bell so that way you never miss my videos or my live streams. So that way we can sit back, chillax, and see what's cracking. And let me know down in the comment section below what you guys are looking forward to when it comes to Marvel's Avengers. Characters or heroes that you want to see, villains that you want to see, NPCs that you want to see pop up, and where the story goes. Let me know down in the comment section below. Now, let's get into the video. The first guess that a lot of people, including Sadat the Gamer, according to this Forbes article, written by Paul Tassi. Shout out to Sadat the Gamer for getting some Forbes time, by the way. That's a good sign to see in our creator community and Marvel's Avengers at that. Some guesses have been Yelena Belova, Shuri, or Ironheart that we could see before She-Hulk. Now, here's why I don't think it's going to be Ironheart. Yes, she could be in the future. We do know that the MCU, Marvel Studios, is creating an Ironheart TV series for Disney Plus. So I can see Ironheart actually popping up around that time, but I don't see that happening right now. Shuri, very, very possible, right? Miller said that the character in question plays a lot like Kate Bishop and I believe it was Hawkeye. Let me look through this article real quick because they said it was 2 characters, Kate Bishop and Hawkeye. So they're basically echoes of each other. Oh no, my bad. I misread that. This character will be an echo, similar to how Hawkeye and Kate Bishop are echoes of each other. So I thought it said that they were gonna be similar in fighting style, but okay, that makes sense now. No. Now, if it is also a female character that will be dropping, then yes, it makes sense that it could be Yelena Belova or Shuri. Shuri could be a similar echo to Black Panther, right? Or in some way, shape, or form, an echo of a Black Widow mixed with a Kate Bishop Black Panther-esque, you know, because she's from Wakanda, she's gonna kind of sort of be the, you know, Black Panther, so to speak, for Wakanda specifically, or, you know, exclusively, since, you know, T'Challa's out with the Avengers. She could fight very much so like Black Panther, and possibly like a Black Widow or Kate Bishop, because she's most likely gonna have some type of projectiles. You know, she has those sonic blasters that may be part of her ranged attacks. You know what I'm saying? So to see Shuri come in before She-Hulk would be interesting. The story kind of already aligned itself for her to actually be the next character. So that is very possible. The other echo character, of course, would be Yelena Belova. We know her because she's been getting some great shine right now in the MCU with the Black Widow movie that dropped in 2021 that originally was supposed to drop in 2020. And then we've also seen her in the Hawkeye series doing great things there as well. So, and she's also had some level of introduction already within Marvel's Avengers with the Red Room Takeover event. So Yelena has more or less been well acquainted to the Marvel audience to some degree, where her popping up and fighting very similar to Black Widow, you know, just with slightly different fighting mechanics, maybe a little stronger, you know, because, you know, Florence Pugh, and you see, you know, she's just a tad bit more stout, you know what I'm saying, like MMA style, you know what I'm saying, still solid though, but like she's built. I can see Yelena Belova being the Echo character that could drop before She-Hulk, and that's because, again, they've already sort of established some level of story plot for Yelena via Black Widow. And this is one of the things I actually want to see. One of the things I was hinting towards early on when I was doing some Marvel's Avengers cover content, was that like the way they can introduce these Echo characters of these other heroes is simply through side story missions. Now, please don't do it like Spider-Man again. That was completely unnecessary. Actually put time into building small DLC packs for these characters where it's actually a legit story with legit story cinematics with, you know, stuff like that. Don't just send us on this forever long journey just to be doing stuff just to get an outfit like that. Don't do that again, please, Crystal Dynamics. The way y'all did Spider-Man was actually wrong from that perspective. I do understand that he wasn't gonna get story content like that, but you could have just gave us Spider-Man maybe a couple things to do, and then we got his outfit. That was just ridiculous. So please don't do that again. But I could definitely see some side storylines for these Echo characters, much like Loki has already been introduced in the story via Thor, and how Loki could legitimately be a villain sector with the actual Loki popping up. So that would be interesting, and then that could also introduce into like a OLT level villain sector as well for Loki. So there could be two things for Loki. That's side story for later on in the video. But in terms of the Echo characters, I definitely can see Yelena Belova, or who did I say, Shuri, as the next character before She-Hulk, because there's already been storylines for them within Marvel's Avengers. Then Ironheart I can see coming later. The next Echo characters, it would be kind of cool if they, it's a good and bad problem. See, the good problem we have is that we have a lot of Marvel Studios content dropping, which makes it that much easier for Marvel's Avengers to align content and outfits to drop accordingly. The problem is, or the bad problem is, a lot of that stuff that we're going to be seeing is not coming like anytime soon, if you will. So take, for instance, you know, Armor Wars. That's a Marvel Studios Disney Plus TV show dropping probably next year. That is something that's going to highlight War Machine, right? Perfect for War Machine to be brought into the fold, into the game. However, because that's so far away, we don't want to necessarily wait to see our War Machine be put into the game and then have Armor War like events that are similar to Red Room Takeover. Maybe a little bit more established, because I think Red Room Takeover was cool. It did add more content. I think the Corrupted Vibranium event was kind of like a dumbed down version of Red Room Takeover. And I think the problem we've been having with Avengers is because their team is, if not small, very limited due to the work from home, the bug like situations. That's probably why we haven't been getting as much detailed content. And so hopefully that changes this year. But it would be nice to see an Armor Wars like event for War Machine, or for Iron Man in general, since our Iron Man is still alive, to see events like that, and that can help align with Ironheart being brought in as well into the fold. And by the way, this is now the predictions. This is kind of sort of the predictions segment of the video where I predict and hope for things that we could potentially see in 2022, if not in the future, for Marvel's Avengers, as long as they succeed this year. That's all it takes. One of the things that we see that is a very great nod, and that the fans are appreciative for, and the gamers, is including the MCU skins as earnable cosmetics in the game via shipments. that was beautiful. We got that Hawkeye Civil War outfit. It was hitting whole necks all day to get that outfit. So that was great. And that's a great step forward because you don't always have to want to purchase them, especially at 1,400 credits. And yeah, every now and then there's a sale that drops them, and that's a great time to grab them. But we also want to see Spider-Man included in those more often as well. And then the new heroes going forward, seeing them being part of those deals early on in their inception or, introduction to the game. So that's some things I want to see. What else? Winter Soldier was also data mined a long time ago, right? Along with War Machine, She-Hulk, Captain Marvel, and all them. Winter Soldier, again, align him with Captain America. He can have a similar fighting style to Cap and maybe Black Panther, just because he's a little more brute, and then have a level of Black Widow to him, since Winter Soldier is more weapons oriented than Captain America. So that's a way for you to introduce and bring and echo Winter Soldier, that much faster. And I can't wait to see the outfits that they would have for Bucky Barnes. That would be nice. And then of course She-Hulk makes sense. Echo character of the Hulk. No story throughput line yet for her. And of course not for Winter Soldier either, but you can easily kind of create that off the characters that they're echoes of, because in real life they are essentially echoes of them as well. When you think of comic books to the movies, like Bucky Barnes was given the super soldier serum just like Steve Rogers' Captain America was. She-Hulk was given a blood transfusion from, oh my goodness, Banner, and she became She-Hulk. So, Iron Man, Tony Stark gave Rhodey a suit, essentially. War Machine, then we see Hawkeye training Kate Bishop become next Hawkeye. Like, there's so much. Oh my goodness, what is that? There's so much that we can see taking place so easily in the video game, because it did take place in real life or the comic books MCU as well, that we want to see that we would embrace stuff like that, especially if you can tie a nice storyline into it with some cinematics and not just some runaround situation again like you did with Spider-Man. That was not really that fun to do. So those are some hopeful things to see in the future. So I think Yelena Belova is going to be the character before She-Hulk, followed by She-Hulk. And then B, those characters that I said that we can see coming soon in the future, which would be War Machine and Winter Soldier, Ironheart down the line. And then Captain Marvel, shout out to Swifts too, because I would have figured that Captain Marvel would have came a lot sooner as a result of the way they ended the storyline for Marvel's Avengers with the Kree and beating Scientist Supreme. And then when you really think about it, it makes sense for them to either end the game with Captain Marvel, or you start Marvel's Avengers 2 if they can turn things around with Marvel's Avengers 1, with the Marvel's Avengers 2, and start the game off with Captain Marvel. That is something I can see happening there. If Captain Marvel comes to Marvel's Avengers, it's still cool, because that's a way you can cap the story thus far for Marvel's Avengers and then start on a next-gen only Marvel's Avengers. That would be nice, and that's something that we probably wouldn't see till like 2024-ish, if all goes well. Because imagine if they could just concentrate on now current gen with PS5 and Xbox Series. Imagine the power that we would get out of the Marvel's Avengers game as well, because on PS5 we already see how much better it is to play on. Minus the fact that we just got bugs, just because there's bugs and they haven't necessarily been able to squash those. I definitely see Marvel's Avengers on PS5 and Xbox Series running way better than what we got with, last gen Marvel's Avengers, development. So that's also a big part of the equation as well. How they go forward addressing bugs. I think this year we will see them address the bugs in a more proper way, actually fix bugs, and the game is going to be running a lot better. I still think that we just need we need reconstruction on the data side, I think, and not so much fixing bugs, because there's just still bugs here that are present from like the day one. then unfortunately I just think we just need a whole new we just need a new Marvel's Avengers everything. But if they can at least keep that to a minimum and fix a lot of these bugs when it comes to the raid, when it comes to falling through the world, Spider-Man and his takedowns and whatnot, falling through the world, halfway running through the world. I don't know if you guys saw Sadat do that. I could have did that if I wanted to. I hate that. So I when I see bugs and glitches, I try to exit them. I'm like, nope, I'm not about to play around because it's gonna break something else. So that's what I do. So I think that's something we're gonna see big time this year is Yelena Belova and bug fixes. And then I think we will get, no, I believe we're gonna get cloning labs. Yes, the long awaited and forgotten and remembered and pushed to the side and everything. I think we're gonna get cloning labs this year. I think it's going to come after patrol mode. Those are my 4 predictions so far. Yelena Belova before She-Hulk, bug fixes, patrol mode, and cloning labs. Those are my 4 predictions thus far. The reason why I think we're gonna get clone labs and the cloning labs, I think it's a raid, right? I still haven't finished the claw raid. I was introduced to it, did a little bit of it, but you definitely need 4 people to make it past like the early part of it. So they're kind of forcing you to do multiplayer with that, which is fine, I guess. But it would be nice to do this stuff, offline as well, where some people like just have work different schedules and can't really multiplayer with other people. So you would like to still appreciate the content, and so restricting it to multiplayer makes it very hard. And that also shows you where they could improve the AI of your heroes to use their major artifacts also, and to use their abilities more often, and to be smart with the raid, knowing that certain area we all need to go and find one of these to click on or to stand on or whatever. So yeah, that's part of the reason why I haven't been able to finish the claw raid. But the cloning labs raid also would then be interesting. And maybe the cloning labs, you need Captain Marvel. Like it seems like that's a big part of the story in terms of like, Monica Rappaccini, Scientist Supreme. When you think of cloning labs, and she's got at least 1 more clone left, I believe, right, of herself. Not to mention if this is where the facility, the manufacturing of a lot of these adaptoids and everything are taking place as well. I could see Captain Marvel potentially being a part of this. So maybe that's why we haven't gotten it yet, which is hope for getting Captain Marvel at the end of the year. Much like we did with Black Panther and Spider-Man, like she's a big expansion that adds another location and adds substantial story, bigger than what Black Panther and Hawkeye and like story on a level of all those combined, right? All the stories we got this year, combine it into one big expansion for Captain Marvel to cap off Marvel's Avengers to lead into a sequel like that. That sounds like a good idea right there. So I definitely think we're gonna get Yelena Belova, bug fixes, patrol mode, which is the free roam mode, going into the wastelands because it's a big enough area to do so, and explore, hang out with people, loot the area, fight little mini bosses, maybe even a big boss, and you can have multiple people in there, like more than 4, right? That would be nice. And you got a bunch of heroes in there, different time periods, and because of the anomaly, the attack anomaly, you got multiple Iron Mans and whatnot fighting a Maestro or something. That would be cool. Cloning labs. And what is my 5th prediction for this year? I've not thought about the 5th prediction, but these are good, pretty decent. Well, I think my 5th prediction ties in with the cloning labs. I think my 5th prediction is we do get Captain Marvel this year to end the game, or to end Marvel's Avengers 1 with an announcement of Marvel's Avengers 2, or Marvel's Avengers with a potentially different name, like Marvel's Avengers Kree Invasion or Secret Wars or something like that. That would be pretty interesting, because then that would also line up with the fact that Marvel's Avengers, or Marvel Studios, has a Secret Invasions show coming in the works, and how perfect then to kind of align this with that, at least start the game off that way, right? Now, with the Kree situation, do I think it's going to be an invasion type situation? it doesn't feel like that, considering the way the story went with the Inhumans and, you know, MODOK along with Monica kind of salvaging and using an old Kree ancient monster thing. I don't think it's gonna necessarily lead into a secret invasion per se. It could just be an all-out Kree war. So a slight twist from that perspective, but still something great that I think we would want to see and play with a brand new game with better software. I think that's what we would want to see. So those are my 5 predictions for the that we would see on the roadmap. And of course, the typical MCU outfits and gear reworking. And oh, that's the other thing I think I'm gonna predict. It's a side note, it's an honorable mention. We're gonna get loadouts. I think we're gonna get loadouts in this as well. So that makes it a lot easier to create different gameplay videos with the different heroes with different loadouts, instead of kind of finding that one loadout that you're comfortable with and you kind of roll with it. That's something that I'm looking forward to there as well. So Yelena Belova, which is the new Black Widow essentially in the MCU, bug fixes / loadouts, patrol mode, cloning labs, and Captain Marvel. Those are my 5 right there. Now let me know down in the comment section below your predictions for Marvel's Avengers. Do you think that this game will survive 2022? Do you think this game will turn it around and actually provide hope and concrete evidence of a second Marvel's Avengers game? Do you think this game will dissipate this year, just fall apart? Do you think this will be the last year regardless? What are you looking forward to in the Marvel's Avengers game regardless of all that taking place? What would you like to see them still add and bring into the game? Let me know down in the comment section below. But again, as always, if you guys haven't already, make sure you guys ignite the like button, subscribe to the channel, hit that notification bell, and make sure you hit that all, so that way you never miss my videos or my live streams. So that way we can sit back, chillax, see what's cracking. With your man Versatile signing out until the next video. I need to hang this, like, just boom. I think if I just remove Spider-Man and put him right there, I think that. Wait for it.